everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley. I post videos about writing and today we're going to talk about reading. I've been seeing the trend going around that people are posting their TBRs, their to be reads, to be read? No, that's not right. Their December book list, what they're gonna read in December. So I thought that I would do that too. I thought that I'd also make a little November recap of what I also read in November, not December. It's December now. Last month was November. Oh man. Last month, as you may know, I participated in NaNoWriMo. I did not think that this would give me a lot of time to read, but it did. I read like 3 books, but also I'm a pretty fast reader, not to brag. I'm a really fast reader. I can read upwards of 500 pages in a day if I really put my mind to it. I also have a Kindle, which makes downloading books super easy. Buy local. Please support your local bookshops. Please support both. Support authors. Oh man, what is this video turned into? Okay, I'm gonna start off with the books that I read in November. Let's go. My first book that I read in November was These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and this book is perfect for you if you love Shakespeare, if you love gangs, if you love 1920s Shanghai. I loved it for all of the above, but particularly the Shakespeare because I'm a huge Shakespeare nerd. I love Romeo and Juliet. I fell in love with Juliet when I did her monologue in a Shakespeare camp one summer. Everybody can fight me, but Juliet is a strong female character. Go ahead. This is your challenge. Debate me right now in the comments. Let's go. Let's throw hands over strong female characters. So These Violent Delights is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. It's set in 1920s Shanghai. It follows Juliet and Roma and they're on opposite feuding families. It's all fun, all very murdery. There's a monster rising from the river, which is pretty cool of a mystery. So that's really fun. It was a beautiful retelling. There are all different point of views, which I was not expecting, but the writing is so beautiful. The characters are each super in-depth, super fleshed out, and I loved each and every one of them, but particularly Alyssa Montegova. Love her. If you're a Shakespeare nerd like I am, you will absolutely love all the references, all the lines, all the scene references. There were as many references as you can possibly imagine to like even the most minor characters, things that I would be reading and then I would be laughing at because I was like, ooh, that's from the show. That's from the play. This is where they die. No, that part is a little nebulous and I'll leave that up to you for reading the book. I should have said in the beginning that this is going to be a spoiler-free review, spoiler-free discussion of the books that I read and the books that I want to read. So yeah, no spoilers here, only clues. Ooh. The character twists are all super clever. The author incorporates lots and lots of things from the play that you never would have even thought possible you could adapt into a book, but there you go, it's there. There are gangsters, there are dark, morally gray characters. It's all fun, it's all amazing. There's queer rep that's particularly satisfying if you've read the play. Cough cough, Mercutio, cough cough, other characters which I'm not gonna name in this review because it's spoiler free. Overall, I just thought it was a really fantastic book. So definitely on my list to recommend, definitely on my top 10 list of books that I've read in 2020. I'm not even sure if I'm making a top 10 list. I'm just going over the books that I read last month. You can check out my Goodreads for all the books that I read this year. Shameless self-promo, but they're all down there. They're all in the books that I read this year. I did meet my Goodreads book challenge, which felt really good. I read 25 books in a year. I keep wanting to say words. Yes, I read 25 words in a year. I'm sure I did. But I actually updated my book goal to be 30 books in a year, so I just have to read 5 more books this December. The other 2 books that I read during November were 2 books in a series, in a trilogy. They were A Blade So Black and A Dream So Dark by L.L. McKinney. Now, I am just hopping on the retelling train this month, apparently. I love retellings, but these are completely different retellings than the Romeo and Juliet. I love retellings that aren't predictable, that can be read at the same time or right after other retellings that are completely different. They should be completely different. They're completely different books. Anyways, these books are part of a larger trilogy. They are an Alice in Wonderland retelling, which is super, super cool. They follow Alice, who's kind of a fighter. She defends the real world from monsters from Wonderland who feed on shadows and who feed on nightmares. Super, super cool stuff. I really loved how the author played around with dreams, played around with the concept of dreams, particularly played around with the Alice in Wonderland lore, I guess. Like, not everything has to be straight white Lewis Carroll's book, like, or even the Disney movies, I guess, you know. So there was lots and lots of top-notch black girl magic. Awesome. The protagonist is Black. The book is set in Georgia and it follows Alice as she defends the world, and her human friends get mixed up in it, which is super, super cool. This book was also a super huge inspiration to me when I was writing my NaNoWriMo project, because I'm trying to do a bit of the dual world, like protecting the real world from the fantasy stuff. So super, super fun inspiration. That's what I love about all these books, all these different YA books, is that somebody can have kind of a similar concept as you, but they can go in a completely different direction that will be just as amazing to all the readers who pick it up and read those two different books. I would say with this book, don't go into it looking for exact parallels between the Alice in Wonderland and this book. Like with These Violent Delights, there were a lot of inside references, a lot of character names that might be funny if you've read the original book or if you've seen the Disney movies. I really, really liked all that, but contrastly to These Violent Delights, there weren't direct parallels drawing from the actual book and the actual movies themselves. It was more of a different, fresher take on it, which I really, really liked, and I thought was executed really, really well. I loved the friendship representation in this book. There is kind of a love triangle, but the friendship between Alice and her best friend really, really spoke to me. It was super, super great, and I love seeing more great, wholesome friendship dynamics in YA because it's great. It's great. Like, not everything needs to be just romance all the time. I feel like we can definitely have equal room and equal time for friendships in these books too. I will say that there is a slight trigger warning for this book that deals a lot with a parent death, with illness, etc., but the exploration of Alice's trauma and her grief and everything that she was exploring while also simultaneously fighting these shadow monsters was really, really cool, and it really, really spoke to me as a writer and a reader. So hats off to L.L. McKinney for working that into her book. And then I also read the sequel, which was equally as amazing. I loved all the different places that it went that weren't necessarily explored in the first book. Super, super great. Super, super awesome. Loved them both. Cannot wait for the sequel, which I believe is coming out in February. January 19th, 2021. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Those were the books that I read in November. Now it's time to go into the books that I'm going to read in December. I'm not really gonna tell you the plot descriptions because, you know, I want to read them before I actually figure what they're about. Here are some great titles that I'm going to be reading this December, and I'm super, super pumped. Haven Fall by Sarah Holland. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, which is the first New York Times bestseller written by a trans author. Super, super amazing. Kudos to Aiden Thomas. Cannot wait to read your book. Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Poston. And I'm going to be continuing to read Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi for my book club that I'm doing with a few personal friends. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video about my recap of what I read in December, November. Jeez. So I hope everybody enjoyed my recap of what I read in November. I'm really looking forward to these books that I have added to my TBR for December. Can't wait. Lots of fantasy, lots of inspiration for the urban fantasy that I'm currently revising. Lots of things to look forward to. Please let me know in the comments down below what you're looking forward to reading in December, and I hope you have a great day. Please don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!